Now, China has been quite vocal and quite public in terms of stating that it expects to spend about $4 trillion over the coming years across these strategic projects. Opening trade corridors will make it easier for business going into and out of China to reach the growing middle classes, which could number more than 4 billion by 2021.
The point is that there's still plenty of demand within China for infrastructure, and that will likely, in our view, mean that GDP growth this year could again be 6.7% in China and actually accelerate to 6.9% in 2019.
So this year we think will be a year of inflows, but this does not necessarily mean that just because we have a lot of inflows into China, we're going to have one-way appreciation again. Because inflows will allow the Chinese authorities to also relax some of these outflow channels.
So I think where BRI sort of helps out the whole situation is that it provides additional funding. It plays probably a pivotal part. But separately to the BRI, given the competition that existed between China and Japan,
the message that we want to share is that taking into account of the strong interest from China, Malaysia is looking at more quality type investment, robotics and the like. And of course there are other investment that has already taken place. Xiamen University, the banks are already here. So these are the good start for Malaysia, I should say.
Apart from business, increased business and also more opportunities for SME supporting the new industry coming in. I think the socio-economic development of the local community, there are more employment opportunities on the ground. There are a lot more uplift in the living standard, and also some of the other benefits is more like cultural and people-to-people exchange benefits that you never see before.
And here we're working, we are very keen, very pleased to work with the local companies. We try to talk into the big players like IGM also, and other MRCB and WCT, and we try to team together with them to work together by the technology transfer and share the technologies.
The techniques that you have available in digital and e-commerce is that you can become much more personal and relevant with all the use of data that you have, or with social media usage. You can much better predict which customers you want to target, which ones are actually in need of your product.
I think we have a lot of experience from the China market, especially in terms of sales and marketing, promoting how to use the e-payment and how to build the ecosystem around the e-payment. So that would be a good experience for some of the Malaysian startup company, how we can bring our experience.
Convenience of the SMEs, you can talk about e-payment. E-payment in terms of online rather than issuing of checks. Sending a check, collection of check, deposit of a check, clearance of check, right? I mean, that's huge benefit. So I think Malaysia, with the Bank Negara push, that has become very effective. I presume banks should be happy because check processing costs are quite expensive.
There are two main driver forces behind this. One is about user experience, user convenience of e-payment or doing e-commerce. And secondly, it's about the infrastructure play. So Chinese government has been putting up a very good vision and plan in rolling out the broadband networks. So their network coverage, I would say, one of the best in the world.
BRI and some of the sources of financing coming through BRI as playing a positive role in terms of meeting some of the infrastructure needs in the region.
At the moment, a lot of these capital financing activities around the Belt and Road initiatives are still driven by the Chinese money.
So whether we're worried or not, of course, like James mentioned, if debt is for really not very productive kind of sectors, then yes, we'll be quite concerned. But I think for infra, it's still quite positive.
Stock exchanges around the world, 68 of them, including Bursa, have signed up to sustainability standards requiring the companies on these stock exchanges to have reporting for sustainability. So if those companies are into infrastructure, they will have to work on it as well.